Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video. I do have a guest, as the title says. Tom will be joining us shortly. Let me just explain a couple of things. We did have a different guest lined up, and Andrew was due to be with me. Emma Reseller was going to be on. Andrew had arranged that with her. Unfortunately, we had some news yesterday that some of you may have heard, because we shared on Instagram, I think, and Facebook. Andrea's nan passed away yesterday. She was 92. So Andrea, isn't in the right headspace to come on and do a live stream. And also yesterday I had to cancel the chat I was going to have on Edward's channel. So apologies if you're watching Edward, it was unavoidable. So thankfully Tom has stepped in. He's going to come and hang out with me. We're going to have a bit of a catch up. But just to explain why Andrea's not here, we've postponed the chat with Emma until next week, I think is the plan. I did have Lonnie arranged for next week, so I'm going to have to message him and push him a week beyond that. So anyway, so yeah, it was shocking news. Thanks for your wishes and messages in the chat. Andrea's fine. She's with her family now. They're obviously getting together to discuss what happens next and plans and stuff like that. So her brother's come down and they've met up. So yeah, so that's that. Again, I don't know if any of you caught the hangout that Edward put out. I was going to guest with Edward and talk about his battle with depression and what I went through in my teens and 20s. I had a long battle with depression and the nerves broke down and all that stuff. And we wanted to get together and talk about it because mental health isn't talked about, particularly by men. We're guilty of locking it all away and not talking about this stuff. We're going to have that hangout on Edward's channel sometime in the future. I don't know when we're going to arrange that for, but obviously yesterday when we heard the news, it just wasn't going to happen yesterday. I wasn't in the right headspace and I needed to be with Andrea. So yes, it's all happening. Yes, Stu says there, Ed's live was very good. I did catch some of it. So yeah, it's a difficult subject to talk about. I've only really openly talked about it once, which was on a hangout on Margaret's channel. But yeah, it is good to get that stuff out there and share what we've been through. So yeah, and another thing, just to compound the week we're having, I shared a sale. Some of you may have seen this as well. I listed that accordion. You may have seen it in a vlog, me playing a great big red squeeze box thing. I listed it as high as I thought I could possibly get away with. I listed it. Here's Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hello there.
I can barely hear you. Say that again. I was just saying, I listed an accordion last week for £450 and it sold. The buyer received it today and almost instantly has opened a return. Because his words, I can hear you. Let me just see. Is it my end? Let me see if I turn my volume up.
Can you guys hear? People can hear me. That's if not, I'll get my
oh, that's better.
Fancy microphone.
I think my volume was down, that's all. So yeah, I was just quickly sharing that the buyer of that accordion instantly opened a return the moment he got it. And the reason is too small. What's that about?
I thought you said it was because Carla messaged them and she'd said how much you'd paid for it and stuff, so they changed their mind. That's what I heard. Well, that's what Team Steve told me anyway. So
Team Steve, miss him. Yeah, it's just one of those. Never count your chickens before they're hatched, people. I was so excited to share that sale with everyone. And yeah, it's coming back.
Apparently the audio is a bit screwed up, so I will be back momentarily with different microphone.
Well, I can hear you fine now. What? Let's know again in the chat. M&M Antiques can't hear Tom properly.
Kelly's put mumbling, Tom. I do mumble anyway.
Let us know, anyone else. Is everyone having audio issues? Tom is good, says Gary. Okay, now. All right. I think we can carry on.
Yeah.
Oh, Rod's in the chat there. Pommy Pickers. Hope you're recovering okay. He went in for hernia operation yesterday. Yeah.
Ouch.
So how you doing, Rod? Hope you're okay. So yeah, it's been one of those weeks. How are you, Tom?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Yeah, you've had a rough time, so yeah, it's good to get on the internet and talk about tat and stuff. Take your mind off things, I can well imagine.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Andrea obviously isn't in the headspace to do it. She was super close to her nan. I wasn't as close, clearly, and I'm fine. I'm just being there for her, really.
All you can
But
do,
yeah,
mate.
exactly. She's off with her brother, chatting about things and arranging stuff. So yeah,
It's amazing how long those sort of things can take and all the processes. I've been through it with my nan and my mom and stuff. It seems to take endless amounts of time. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Was there a topic you wanted to talk about today, or if there's anything like that?
Not really. Just catch up, see how you are. I mean, I think most people who follow me will know of your recent news, but in case people don't know, do you want to just recap on what's been going on in your world?
Yeah, I've got a little screaming grot bag at the moment who's currently asleep, thankfully. So yeah, he might at any moment erupt into screams. So yeah, I've become a dad, so that's changed things quite a lot. It's kind of put the videos on hold and made me change a few things around, certainly.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you. I mean, I know you were putting a lot of changes in beforehand because you were preparing for this imminent change.
Yeah.
But how has that affected reselling? Because a lot of your stock was at home. So
Yeah.
what's changed?
Well, a lot of the unlisted stock was at home. I didn't really have so much listed stuff here. That was all in nice boxes in the storage unit, and that was great. But yeah, the unlisted stuff had taken over my garage, shed, outbuildings, outside toilet, you name it, and the greenhouse. Yeah, I'd even got stuff in the greenhouse. I'd even got cardboard boxes in the blinking greenhouse. It was. Yeah, it kind of looked like the Beverly Hillbillies outside for a while. So yeah, I have in the sort of paternity time, I've taken like 3 or so weeks off. I've decided to tackle the death piles and nearly had a mental breakdown with the amount of stuff. Just had a moment of clarity where I thought, what the hell am I doing? Keeping this stuff which is worth bugger all. It's amazing how far sometimes you move on and you realize, actually, either the stuff's not worth selling anymore or I've changed. Like I'm pulling out, I don't know, things like Harry Potter books and stuff like that, but they got damaged from the damp in the garage. I'm like, oh, what have I done that for? Cringeworthy.
Yeah. I remember when you were showing that stuff had got damaged when I helped my dad clear a shed because he's halfway to Hoarderville, my dad, and he's got a lot of stuff he doesn't need. And one of his sheds was basically collapsing in on itself. So he bought this brand spanking new shed, but we had to clear the old one and then put the stuff back in. So in the process of clearing it, we found stuff. There'd been a leak and there'd been damp coming up from the floor, I think, as well. And I shared with you his train set from the 1950s as a child had just rusted to death. It had just been completely ruined, and it wasn't so much the value of that. It was the that was his childhood toy. And it's moments like that you realize that having too much stuff can get in the way of enjoying the stuff you actually have. You know what I mean? Or appreciating that you actually have stuff because you can't even see it. You can't get to it. You can't see it or touch it. And yeah,
And the amount of things I came across, I was like, no way. I've totally missed the boat on that. Like, I found a load of Zumba stuff, which is, it still does sell, but the 2 years ago that I bought it, it would have sold like hotcakes, there's Zumba sort of wand things and DVDs.
Well, that's
totally
a craze that has kind of dipped and gone away now. Do you think moving forward that this has changed your mentality with how long you're going to keep things or how much stock you're going to keep buying?
I'd like to say yes, but I've been battling with this since I was about 14, so I've yet to change yet. In fact, I've only made it worse. But I think it has helped. Like when my dad moved house, there was sort of like a moment of clarity with him where I remember that because his thing was motorbike parts and engine parts and sort of technical stuff like engineering things, and we were putting stuff in boxes. And it was a night before they were moving, and there was a moment of clarity. It was like 11 o'clock at night when he realised that he couldn't move it all, and it just this broken look in his eyes. I just thought, God, I don't want to be in a house and sort of be that. Obviously this is different because this is stuff for resale. So yeah, it did make me think, oh God, what am I doing here? I think it's not the stuff that bothered me. It was the stuff that got damaged that annoyed me, really annoyed me. Where I'd put stuff on the floor and it'd like soak the damp through the floor, books and stuff like that, and I've had to bin loads. So yeah.
Yeah, having to chuck stuff away is painful when you know that originally I assumed this stuff had value and was saleable. So
yeah. I mean, the bulk of it was from car boots, so thankfully I wouldn't have paid a great deal for a lot of it. So yeah, it's certainly an eye opener, definitely. So now my end goal is to not have any stock at home. The only stuff that I'm going to have at home is packaging material, and then a like listing area and stuff like that. So the garage, I've put shelves up in, and I've put all the stuff in boxes, and I'm slowly going to be working through all that. And then as I list stuff, it'll go to the storage unit, and then the space it's created, I'll put packaging material in its place. Because at the moment, the packaging is stuffed in my loft, so and I'm noticing a few cracks in the ceiling.
Seriously?
Yeah, because I've put that much. Honestly, the amount of cardboard in my loft is out of control. It's ludicrous.
Wow.
I've got like 200 meters of bubble wrap up there as well. It's just outrageous.
It's a wonder there's no cracks in our ceiling, because I recently put piles of stuff up in the loft. I think I shared that haul I got of trading cards. Most of that has had to go up there, and that weighed an absolute ton. When I picked it up, the car was like a lowrider. It's just so yeah, there's so much weight in my loft. It's ridiculous.
I found a load of Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the garage as well, which is interesting. So there was about three. I think there was a handwritten note in there that said 3,500. Not in my writing, but in whoever I bought it from, 3,500. So we shall see if there's anything good in there. I've still not done anything with the last lot that I got. So yeah, let's just have a quick look inside chat. I've got a few.
You were breaking up there. I don't know if your connection's a bit dodgy, but I was losing you a bit then. We've got Steve and Steph in. Hi guys. We are trying to settle on a day to do the next boys versus girls, so that should be coming soon. Free Runner Show is in. Hi, thanks again for the DVDs. Sold a few of those already. Rod Pommy Pickers asks, how much is the accordion guy having to pay postage to return it? I don't know. The return was auto accepted. I'm hoping that they haven't wangled it that I've got to pay for return, because it was certainly as described. So I don't know. That's up to them to sort out. Whether they'll get a label from eBay, I don't know. It's just, I hate this moment. You've got a valuable item that's coming back to me, and I've got to trust them to pack it securely and get it back to me in one piece. So yeah, squeaky bum time. Oh, Tom's gone. Hopefully he's going to log back in. Hi, Shelley. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah, you were breaking up a bit before.
Yeah, just Shelley, reset the router.
Okay, cool. Kids are being buried alive by toys. They will still only play with a very small handful of them. Yeah, we used to have that issue with Ellen so many times. You've got all that to come, Tom. Every Christmas, if you've got a big family, they will all want to buy little tiny Tom.
Well, I suppose the fortunate position is that you see a lot of kids' toys and stuff at the car boot sales, and we've already been drowned in stuff. Absolutely. And my dad's been finding loads of. It's been quite cool because my dad's been finding loads of toys that I had as a kid. So it's been like a proper trip down memory lane. But some of them, I'm like, is this too good? Should I sell this? You know, they're fans do some like vintage Playmobil. I'm like,
Keeping stuff from a family of 4 kids who are now adults needs to move house to trigger me into dumping it all. It can be an issue.
Yeah.
We all have a hoarder tendency somewhere inside. Some of us manage it better than others.
I was going to show you this as well, Nick. I found this book when I was sorting stuff out, and it's you probably like it. It's all cool photos to do with like action figures. So the guy like sets them up and like makes it look like it's real. So you've sort of got like Superman on the beach, and it's so cool. I'm not sure if I want to sell this.
That's clever.
Like Star Wars ones. There's a great.
Did you see recently? There's a guy who was putting figures in the foreground of a picture, and then he was about like 20 meters back, so he was the same scale. Did you see those? Darth Vader and Lou. Oh, that's clever. So these photoshopped images, then?
I think so. Yeah, I think they've he's sort of taken small scale ones and then photoshopped them onto a larger one.
They look so cool. Real.
Yeah, very cool. So it was, quite cool to find some stuff like that. Thought it might interest you. But yeah, so it was the problem. One of the main problems when sorting through stuff was getting distracted, looking up the value of things instead of actually sorting it. I go, oh, that looks expensive. Let's look that one up, and then I just put it back, and it's like, wait a minute, I haven't actually done anything here.
Yeah. I do far too much of that. When I try and tidy up in here, which I tend to have to do once a week because I'm a messy sod, I end up getting distracted because I'll pick something up and I'll go, and like you say, I'll either look it up or I'll start cleaning it or I just get totally sidetracked and start listing random things that I'm just trying to tidy away. An hour later, I've achieved nothing but made more mess.
Yeah,
and that sums up my life in this office. It's just like I get distracted and just start doing other stuff.
Well, I found a bag of shoes which I previously photographed on not my last phone, but the phone before. So that's like over 2 years ago. And they were all nicely tied and stuff like that, but they got covered in dust. So what I did is I cleaned them all up. I took photos of them, and they've gone back in the shed. It's like the definition of insanity, isn't it? Doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result.
Yeah. Oh dear. Mikey was asking, is it worth selling DVDs on eBay? The vast majority these days, not really. I mean, I know you've been dabbing in it big style recently, haven't you, Tom? How have you been getting on with this?
Yeah, I've been doing all right. Yeah, I bought loads of DVDs. A lot of them are new and sealed. They're all we know when Pound World went bump. So their stock has obviously been sat in a warehouse, and it's just trickled onto the market. And there was a contact I got through the car boot, and getting them for pennies. But a load of the common, there was like loads of Die Another Day and stuff like that. Really common films. I've moved those on to the local auctions and also some of the guys who sell at car boots. But there was loads of like weird niche stuff like fishing DVDs and all that sort of stuff, and that seems to be selling okay. Military history ones, and I've got some here. Like, here we are. Women at War. Loads of these war file seen on the UK History Channel. And really, I mean, they're like 2003, so the early days of DVDs. So actually, because of that, there's not a new one on the market because they've all been opened. So yeah, seems to be doing okay, but it is a bit soulless listing them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. The niche ones, the unusual, the stuff that you can't find instantly on eBay. If you list any feature film that you've heard of, you go on eBay and there'll be 100 of them.
Yeah,
There'll be all the regulars, Music Magpie, We Sell Books. They'll all have it for like £1.27 delivered or something ridiculous. How they make any money doing them that cheap is still beyond me. So yeah,
to be honest,
go on.
yeah, I was just going to say, they're an advantage to a lot of people. I'd say a lot of DVDs I sell to either Magpie, Ziffit, those sort of places, and just move them on. You know, you don't get loads, but it adds up. Because if you're paying 5p a DVD and they're going to give you 15, 20p, just move them on.
Oh, I just saw Margaret in. Hi, Margaret. Hope you're well.
Oh, yeah, I've just she's in there.
Oh, there's two Margarets in, Margaret Stewart and Texas Girl Treasures. Right, I've just lost where we were in the chat. I'm trying to keep up with questions and things.
There's a lot of hashtag Team Steve and hashtag Team Carla going on.
Oh, Margaret says, Tom looks amazingly well rested with a new baby. Do you feel well rested?
You know what? I got 6 hours last night. He slept for over 6 hours. I can't believe it. It was, yeah, amazing. But, I don't feel too bad. Afternoon naps help. But to be honest with you, afternoon naps helped even before being a dad. So
you're getting to that napping age, aren't you, Tom?
Yeah,
I've been there for years.
I've got a friend who's just had a son at a very similar time, and he's gone back to work and is saying about how difficult it is, and I'm like, that's all right. You know, so actually I'm quite blessed to be working from home. You know, I can help out and do stuff and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
I've not done much work though. It was virtually nothing, but
yeah, one of the great benefits that Andrew and I found, we quit our jobs when Ellen was born. To do reselling full time, and it meant we spent 100% of our time with her. We saw all those moments that often parents will miss because they're in daycare or they're with a nanny or whatever. So yeah, I'll always be eternally grateful for that. You know, we were there for our first word, first steps, all of that stuff because we were able to be.
Yeah,
and that's a huge privilege, really, and it was a massive benefit to us.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've planned it in. I've worked my arse off leading up to Christmas to, you know, earn as much as I could. So I could basically take time off until, you know, end of April, even May if I needed to. I'm still doing work, and FBA is ticking away in the background, although it's pretty bad at the moment with all the restrictions coming in and all these new restrictions to do with requiring wholesale invoices and intellectual property violations, a bit like the you know, the Veros on eBay. They get the sort of a similar sort of system on Amazon, and that's becoming quite rife really. So things like retail arbitrage is becoming difficult because I've certainly had it. I bought this remote controlled car bits from Tesco, sent them into Amazon, and a company in China on Germany Amazon said I was infringing on their intellectual property. So yeah, it's crazy. Ding on my account. Amazon wouldn't accept the receipts from Tesco because it's not a wholesaler. And yeah, nothing I could do. Had to have the items destroyed. It was mental.
Yeah, it's a minefield. But I mean, it's becoming that on eBay. You mentioned the Vero thing.
Yeah.
That's so. I don't know. It just makes you
mental. Yeah, it does.
Paranoid.
Yeah. So those sort of things do concern me. So I'm trying to sort of re-establish more of my bread and butter type stuff rather than trying to find these bizarre niches of weirdness.
Oh, George is saying there he bought a bundle of old Argos catalogs from the 80s and 90s. Wow, nice find. And it took me 3 hours just to picture them because I was flicking through them all.
Yeah, well, I've got something like that here. I've got some picked up some newspapers, and this was from a charity shop, but they're World War II. So Nazis invade Holland, Belgium, Luxembourg, you know, and I've got a stack of them, and I was photographing. I was sending George some pictures, and they're just difficult to list because I just kept looking at the adverts for cigarettes and stuff like that. It's interesting.
So what?
And like
Is there
big.
much value and much demand for that? What's that? So what? 1930s, 40s?
Yeah, this is 1940. So the problem is there isn't a great deal of value in them, but I'm bundling them up because people kept them. Like key events, like this Britain's first day of war,
Yeah.
and then like the wanted thing. I'm probably going to get your video demonetized with all this using the N word. So yeah,
It might
the
sell
thing is,
well to like theatre companies and TV production companies, like a lot of things.
that's why I'm going to bundle them.
Yeah.
There's one from the sinking of the Titanic as well, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow, when was that?
Yeah,
20s? That's really
1912, I think it is. Hold up.
wow.
Let me. Yeah, well, I managed to rip part of it, but yeah, the 18th of April, 1912. This is the Daily Mirror.
Oh wow.
And it's literally just watch me rip it now live on stream. It's literally 2 pages and that's it. And then it's got this in the middle which shows different people that died and cool, isn't it?
That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many Titanic collectors. I mean, that
Mm.
surely will be quite sought after. But then again, like you say, if it depends how many people kept it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were going to get chucked in the recycling by a charity shop.
Wow.
Which is mental. And I was just the right place, right time, chatting to them, and the rag man was coming to collect all the rag, and they were in a pile for recycling, and I asked what they were doing with them. So I just made a donation and had them. Crazy.
That's so cool. Saved them from being turned back into newspaper.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just dipping in the side chat. I don't know where I got to. Oh wow, I'm way behind. Let me do some catching up. Good Lord. Right, I was there. Mal Balzier says, hi guys, first time made it to a live chat, been following for a while. Welcome, thanks for making it. Stephen says, did I miss much? Not really. Oh, Steve is in. Hi, Steve. Margaret says she's come to troll us. Fair enough.
BCP's put Titanic items go down well with buyers. Wow.
Very funny. George says, every time I sneak off for a nap. A nap? How old are you, George?
Yeah, aren't you like 19 or something?
Really, you should be 40 plus to have a proper nap, you know. You're too young to nap. So you, Tom. Anyway, he says, every time I sneak off for a nap, I either get jumped on by the girls, the dog, or I've got a to-do list from the wife. Oh, dear. David says, update. Next week, I'm having a new eBay shop designed. Not sure if it's the right decision. Only future sales will answer that big question. Okay, you'll have to let us know how you get on. Can't say it. Thrifty Trooper. I had a cheeky nap last night, 9 p.m. and then woke up this morning at 7 a.m. Wow. Top class napping. Oh, hi, Kirsten. All right, I'm going to try and get to the end of the chat. Margaret just wants something to mod. Right, here we go. So if you've got any questions for us, pop them in. We'll try and keep an eye on the chat. Chris B says, it's quite amazing what gets chucked in the bins in charity shops. I dig loads out of them.
Yeah, I'm half tempted to ask some of them, but I don't know. I feel a bit scummy doing it, asking if can I look through your bins?
I know it does. It's mad what gets thrown away. You only have to watch Steve and Steph a few times to realise. I was watching one from yesterday while I was doing an FBA shipment earlier, and they were literally pulling dollar bills out of bins. I think it was $5 they found in dollar bills in a bin bag in a bin. It was just.
Yeah, I think it's also part and parcel of the culture. You know, the more disposable culture in America potentially. I know that's a sweeping generalization, but yeah, I think there's quite a lot of tight people in the UK.
I don't know so much. There are a couple of like dumpster
Depends where you live, I suppose. Yeah.
In the UK, there's a couple of channels I've seen, but I know it's a very grey area with the legality of doing it, and I've never got involved. I just enjoy watching it on YouTube, really.
I used to when I was younger. I used to pull all sorts of like old bits of wood and stuff like that out of skips from, you know, when people have like ripped old doors out and stuff like that. And I used to make things out of them. But in hindsight, I probably could have sold the stuff, you know, architectural antiques and whatnot. So that was always fun. Yeah, I'd say most of the time I'd at least try and ask, but people wouldn't be fussed about, you know, a bit of wood or something. I'd normally say, oh, you know, can I take the wood out your fire to burn kind of thing? And they'd be more than happy because it frees up space in the skip. But whether it'd be a different story if they thought you were making a profit out of it, I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Well, Shelley's got a great one. This kind of takes the biscuit. I bought a charity shop bin because it was wicker. They had to empty the rubbish out. I was only half embarrassed.
Wow.
That's epic. You've descended into darkness there.
Yeah,
Jack.
I'm just going to go put a light on, so bear with me.
You're
It's absolutely chucking it down here.
slowly disappearing. Hi, Derek. Says charity shop I know dumps lots of good stuff because they want to keep the shop up market, whatever that means. They should redonate to worse shops if need be. Yeah, that makes sense. Shame to chuck it away. That's James, Thailand Heron. Hi. My best find in the bins was a sealed Viz DVD. Got £32. What? From a bin? Hi, Peter. Peter Ray's in. Hoping the weather will pick up so I can go out and vlog. Fantastic. Yeah, it's been miserable here all day.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, Kirsten says, I spoke to someone today about old cigarette packs they found at the tip, sold for 15,000.
Wow. What did I show you when you came up? Those cigars that I got from the car boot. There were 1940s cigars in a packet, and they're still all in there. The cigar. I know the cigars will be bad, but I don't know if I showed you them.
I think you did. Were they a little pack?
Mm.
Yeah, they were cool.
I still don't know what to do with. To be honest, I don't know where they are.
It's probably a grey area whether you can sell them. I doubt you could sell them on eBay because they're tobacco.
You
know what I mean?
Maybe go to auction. I'm not sure.
Because obviously you need to be licensed to be selling tobacco, and I don't think you can sell any tobacco products on eBay anyway. Because fell foul of that when I was selling some quit smoking stuff, and I had all of my listings pulled. That's going back 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, I don't know whether an auction house would be able to sell them either. I'm not too sure.
No, interesting one. I have to find out. Rod says put 50p in the meter, Tom. Yeah, but that's mad, Kirsten. So they sold some cigarette packs they found at the tip for 15,000. I can't believe it. Most of the common, I've had them before, the little players ones and stuff, the common ones, and they have some value, but they're not really worth selling. There's not enough value in them to make it worth doing. And my uncle used to find a lot of them. He used to do, he worked for Rentkill and he used to do surveys of houses. And under floorboards, you'd find them because builders would just chuck them.
Yeah.
And they'd sit there perfect since like the 1920s or 30s. But the common packs aren't worth a great deal. So I assume they had some really rare stuff to get that sort of money.
Yeah, definitely. Those sort of, I've got as well. I did a video about it. It must be about 2 years. A load of matchbooks. It was from this house that I cleared, and the person was a collector of matchbooks. And it's a box, probably, I don't know, Probably several feet wide by several foot and that deep, just full of hundreds and hundreds of matchbooks.
Wow.
So
Are they all
don't know.
are they all the book type with the matches stuck in?
They're a mixture.
Yeah.
Most of them are proper boxes. I'll find a photo of them.
Well, I used to collect. My grandfather, who passed away in the 90s, used to collect all sorts of stuff, and that's where I got the bug from. And I used to collect Matchbox labels with him, and some do have a lot of value. It's like anything, 99% won't, but whether it's worth or whether it's possible for you to find out which ones out of the thousands you'll have,
that's the thing.
It's so difficult. So you're probably best bundling it in a few bundles, and
there are some aviation ones in there as well, and military ones, which I'm going to look them up. Just bear with me. I'll try and find the photo. But yeah, the problem is you can sit there and just look stuff up and just burn out on looking stuff up.
Yeah, I remember once I bought a stamp collection, and just could not spend the time looking up individual stamps. I knew that there was bound to be some of value in there, so I ended up breaking it down into, I think it was 4 lots, and just took as many pictures as I could of each page.
Yeah.
They were put in with stamp little stickers. What are they called? Stamp hinges. So, and I think 3 of the lots sold for the opening bid of around 20-25 quid, and 1 went crazy. And to this day, I have no idea what was in there. But that was the only way I could do it. There were thousands of stamps. There was no way I was ever going to be able to look them all up. So I suppose that's one way. Just take as many pictures as you can.
That's one there. That's one of the packets, which is sort of 1940s, I think.
Modern. Is that not a modern remake?
No, not at all. No, because it got the old style of, the old striker, the one that's sandpaper based.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Let's try and find another photo. But yeah, just so many of them. I don't know. I've got a photo now. Yeah. There we are now. Oh, you can see that. That was about 2 foot deep of just all different. Hopefully that's coming out on the screen. But again,
my grandfather, God rest his soul, would have just died for that. He would have been like a pig in mud with that.
And then there was albums as well with just the labels cut out, not the box.
Yep.
Albums and albums and albums of them.
I had a Swan Vestas album with the Swan Vestas swan on it, and I used to go and stay with my granddad, and we'd soak them and get the labels off and dry them out and hang them up and dry them and then stick them in. We spent hours and hours doing it. I had hundreds and hundreds in a book. I ended up, when I started reselling, I sold the collection off because I became very detached from collecting and didn't want to go back to it, and sold it all off. I don't really regret it, but I suppose looking back, that the hundreds of hours I put into that collection, I sold off a postcard collection. I had 5,000 or 10,000 postcards, a lot of really early ones as well, and I got rid of the whole lot of that, which was a bit sickening because there was a lot of value in it. The only collection I kept was cigarette cards, which has an insane amount of value, but I can't part with that.
I need to talk to you another time about cigarette cards, because I did find some. All in sheets and stuff. I found a load of stamp stuff as well, first day covers, but I.
Oh, you're breaking up again.
Because
you went all.
See if you can hear me better now.
Robot. Yeah.
Robotic. I bought a load of first day covers because there was one that had got a silver coin on, which I sold years ago, but the guy only wanted to sell them all. And I know some can be worth money, but most aren't. So it's a proper minefield of, again, this was one of the things when I was pulling stuff out of the garage, I was like looking them up, and then I'm realizing that I've got half the garage outside. It could rain at any point, and I'm there sat looking up first day covers on my phone.
Yeah, I bought a collection of those once, and I ended up looking up each and every one because it was the only way. I knew there had to be a few of value in there. And let's say I had 100, I spent a whole afternoon looking them up, and I think I found 3 that were even worth listing. You know what I mean? It's how much is your time worth?
Yeah.
The rest I just bundled, and they sold quite well in bundles. So
It's that fear of missing out, though. You know, when you think, oh God, what if there's one in there that's worth 200 quid or something?
I know.
It's like, ah.
I know, and that was the fear I had. So I forced myself to look every last one up, and it was so mind-numbing. And basically, I found like 20 quid's worth of decent ones for virtually a whole day's worth of looking up mind-numbing, boring stamps. And yeah,
It's like coins, though. You know, I don't do coins so much these days, just because I don't see them. But if someone was, you know, a lot of people, they buy a bag of old pennies and think they're worth money, when realistically, there's not. There's the odd one that's worth money, but
is it now? Testing my memory. Is it 1933 penny?
I have no idea. Probably because it would be when Edward came in.
There's one. Oh, another ka-ching. Oh, good. I've sold some micro scale extract, which I'm quite amazed has sold. I was just checking the chat. Andrew Horner says, I know we're behind. I worked for a well-known charity shop and had to clean up every morning after the skip rats, that's his term, had been and smashed glass and everything thrown about. Yeah, I mean, if going back to Steve and Steph, if you watch them, they tidy up other people's mess. They're so great at that stuff. But yeah, if you're gonna skip dive, tidy up after yourself.
Yeah, I mean, one of my local charity shops that I go in, and I go and chat to them in the back and stuff, and they let me have a mooch about every now and then. But just, you know, it's nice to befriend them because they save stuff back for me every now and then. You know, if they get some like military history books or something like that. And they had a constant problem with people coming and looking in their bins to get stuff to sell at the car boots.
George has a question about Music Magpie. This is George F. Do Music Magpie get suspicious if you regularly send lots in? They get funny if you send the same title, don't they? Well, they don't let you actually.
No, some of them do. I think Ziffit lets you send two of the same title in the same box. But then once you've sent that in, you can never send that title in again. Well, with any of them, once you've sent one thing to Ziffit, they never let you send that title in again, which is crazy. But yeah, you what? Sorry, Nick?
I didn't realize if it were that.
They'll say like, you've sold this to us previously. Now I don't know if there's a timescale limitation on that, but it's certainly a problem I had last year when I was trying to liquidate a lot of this Pound World stuff. But yeah, they get very shirty. I've had warning emails off Ziffit and Magpie. Ziffit's position is they categorically do not buy from businesses at all. It has to be personal stuff from that you've bought yourself, and that you can't be sort of making money off them. That's their official line. Now, obviously, you know, if you said the odd box now and then, but it's if you're drowning them in stuff. So I had a few sort of like emails from them trying to get a clear answer. Magpie's a bit more forgiving. It's kind of, it depends who you speak to. Some of the sort of jobs with typing head office, they are very much like, no, you can't be a business. But then others I've spoken to there are like, as long as you're not just sending us lots of low value stuff, occasionally you put something decent in, then they're fine with it because they've got to get the stock from somewhere.
Exactly. I mean, if it's good for them, they're going to say yes, essentially, aren't they? They're trying to stop businesses clearing their absolute rubbish to them, I guess.
And then World of Books, you can actually be a business customer with them. I think it's World of Books, and you actually get better rates. So you can apply to have a business account, and I think you get 15% more, 10% more, something like that. There's no cost in that, so that's definitely worth doing. So the World of Books are quite open to businesses because World of Books also get a lot of the excess books from, I think it's British Heart Foundation and Bernardo's. All the books that aren't sold, World of Books goes and collects them and pays them like 50p for a box or something.
Interesting. So I'm just trying to. I did catch up in the chat. I'm now miles behind. Where was I? Right. Right.
Just to answer a question from Andrew Horner, why not trade them into CEX and get vouchers and sell vouchers on eBay? They sell very well and very quickly. Yeah, it's something I've thought about. I'm a bit suspicious about selling vouchers on eBay because you can be scammed. But I've certainly traded stuff into CEX and bought the laptop that I'm talking to you on now at the moment. So there is benefit in that. But most DVDs, CEX will only give you a penny for in-store credit, so it's just not worth. And again, CEX's official line is they do not deal with businesses as well.
Yep. Daisy May says, Laura Ashley curtains left at the end of a car boot and picked up for free, sold for £100. That is
wow.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I've certainly seen it with some of the house clearance people. I've been to a few boot sales where they've just left everything and drove off and left like a pile of stuff.
No, I've not seen that. I've been at plenty of boot sales where towards the end, a genuine sort of family stall will say everything 10p, or a few times we've been there, it's everything for free. And it's really weird going up to a stall. Andrew and I were walking past the stall once, a stall we'd already looked at. And the woman suddenly said, everything's free. And we felt really odd just grabbing stuff. But then it was like people were coming from far and wide to just get armfuls, and they didn't give a monkey. We felt really odd about doing it.
There's one of the Nottingham car boots. There's a lady who does that every week. Pretty much at the end of the day, I mean, you can see people hovering around and waiting for the moment it's free, and it's like, I want to buy that thing, but I'm not going to buy it now because I know in 5 minutes it's going to be free. So no one best buy it until it's free. And then you just see like they're sort of lurking, and it's mostly this isn't a sexist thing, but it seems to be mostly women looking at particular clothes that are free, and then they'll go for it. You just see them, and it's quite funny to watch actually.
Mikey W is in, says, I'm new to reselling. Are the best places to get items here in the UK charity shops, boot sales, marketplace? Finding it hard to find stock. It all depends on where you are, really. I mean, I don't know where in the country you are. For me, I think the best place is still a car boot sale.
Yeah, car boots and jumble sales.
Yeah, jumble sales are a few,
they're hard,
few and far between. And they're a real lottery. I mean, I showed last week, you can still find a £100 PS1 game at a jumble sale.
I'm still not forgiving you over that. That's shocking behavior.
But the same jumble sale, that's a regular one. We go, I think it's 4 times a year it's held. But I've been there and come away with nothing. And it's, an hour and a half round trip. So it's swings and roundabouts, really. But boot sales are regular. You can go every week. And as long as the weather's good, you should have, depending on the size of it, 50 to 100 stalls, and there's way more stuff to pick through. But just depends where you are.
Yeah, this is the problem with what's filled my garage's boot sales. This is going to sound arrogant, but it was too easy to find stuff. And my buying of stuff at boot sales, because I was doing 2 on a Saturday morning, and then 3 or 4 on a Sunday, and then 2 in the week. I mean, in the summer this is, so it's just the amount of stuff that I was getting. I just couldn't keep up with the listing. It's as simple as that.
I don't think it's arrogant at all. It's just how it is. I have to limit myself going to boot sales because I will fill this place up. Finding stock has never been the problem, really. It's turning it over that's the issue.
Yeah, once your eyes are open to the possibilities and the stuff out there, then finding stock isn't the issue.
But then going back to that question, I mean, we know people who source exclusively from charity shops. There are people who do really well from Marketplace and Gumtree. You just have to try all of those options and find what works for you, because what works for me may not translate to you in your situation or what you're looking for.
Yeah, so, I mean, some people do great with Facebook pickups, but I'm gonna be doing a dickhead of the week about a Facebook transaction I've had recently. I am officially not buying or selling on Facebook anymore. No more. I'm sick.
Well, we'll wait with bated breath for that one. Link to Tom's channel, by the way. If you guys aren't subbed to Tom, I did. Yes, I did. I put the link below to Tom's channel, so go over there. The Dickhead of the Week videos are, I think, your most popular output.
Yeah, I'm just sick of the people selling stuff which is brand new, never used, and it's out of the box. It's like, yeah, okay, that isn't what it's about. But that type where it's like sold as seen, and it.
Well, that's the
Even
problem with
PayPal, it's
that's the problem with Facebook and Gumtree and all of those, is there is zero regulations. You can sell pretty much what you want. You can describe it exactly as you want, and there's very little comeback, is there? What are you going to do? Go back and knock on their door?
Well, that's the thing. I bought something off Facebook before, and they posted it to me. I've complained about something, said that I was going to go to PayPal to open up a case, and they say you best not do that because I know where you live. It's like, really, you're going to just go down that route? It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah. It's the new Facebook is the new Wild West of selling. It used to be eBay. eBay was, in the early days, that was seen as like the Wild West of trading, but now it's totally Facebook. I've had some really good pickups from there. I tried selling on there and just had time waster after time waster. I tried Spock, really hit and miss. I sold 5 or 6 items on there, but I must have had 50 time wasters to get those 5 or 6 sales. And although we all have issues with eBay, I just said earlier, I'm having that £450 sale returns, which is annoying. But in general, you get way less time wasters because you're working within a framework that eBay set out. And generally it works. You know what I mean? People know if you buy it, that's it. You've bought it. You need to pay for it. But Facebook is just, there's nothing in place to protect buyers or sellers.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't mind Facebook pickups if they're where you can actually go and pick them up, because you can have an interaction with a human being and see the item before you actually hand over any money. But I'm certainly not buying stuff off Facebook and having it posted to me anymore. Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't see it before paying?
No.
Yeah.
No. So but I don't know. It's like Gumtree. Back probably about 2 years ago, I had a spate of doing amazing on Gumtree with gaming pickups, particularly. I don't know why. It just seemed like people clearing stuff out, and I was getting like GameCube bundles for like a tenner, and so like really decent stuff. And then it just seemed to dry up. Really, it's peculiar. And now it's people trying to sell like a boxed N64 for like £180. It's silly.
Catherine has shared an amazing sale. I don't know if you saw that in the side chat. Catherine McConnell says, I bought some stamps at auction for £12, sold them for 1,531.
Wow.
This stuff is possible, guys. It's just
was that on eBay you sold them? And I'd just be intrigued. Was it an auction?
Yeah. How did you sell them on? Let us know.
That'd be interesting to hear.
James Thailand Heron says, I used to collect matchboxes. Same here. Sold them but didn't get much. Same here. Yeah.
You see, I made the mistake of you saying about selling collections. There was a local market where I grew up, and there was a guy who sold toys, and he bought a load of my toys. I had boxed. Oh God, what were they called? They're made by Bluebird. They had lots of little figures in Magnaforce.
Oh, Magnaforce. Yeah, Magnaforce sounds right.
I had almost mint boxed all of them, and I think I sold them for 20 quid. Ooh. And now I'm like, and he bought loads of my Games Workshop stuff. And at the time, I was like 18 and I wanted beer money, and now I cringe thinking about that.
Was it
Mantaforce? It was something like that.
I just can't. Let us know in the chat. Somebody will know.
Yeah, made by Bluebird anyway.
I was just reading, Shelley says, one of my car boots is due to restart this Sunday and it's been peeing down all day. All toys ready to be lobbed out of the pram if called off. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Chris B says, Shell, I am sure I saw, that's hard to say, a poster somewhere for a car boot in Tesco's car park out your way. Ah.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be allowed to go to car boot sales for any time soon. So I'm probably gonna have to wait till sort of July time, I think, which is going to kill me because I've got no space to put stuff. So yeah, the fear of missing out is getting to me.
Rod is asking, what's the black bowling ball type thing to the right of me? Oh, this is scales. My boot sale pickup of Heston Blumenthal scales. That's what I weigh my light stuff on for post office.
Oh, a tip for people. You know, you've got them lights. Well, Screwfix sells some bright white daylight work lights for 40 quid, which I bought one for photography. They're pretty good. So that's a tip.
Oh,
Mm.
you tell me now I've invested in these bad boys.
Yeah, they're not as good, but they're not bad. They're a bit too bright, if anything.
Can you not adjust it? I suppose the beauty of these is you can adjust them up and down.
Yeah, you can't adjust them.
I'm using one now and it's way too bright if I have it right up. But you can just see that that's turned up.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I have to turn it down to a reasonable level. In fact, that's still too bright.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing with the.
Right, let me catch up in the chat. Sorry. Jeff says, I sold a smoked glass TV stand on Amazon for £5 just to get rid of it. The buyer said he wanted discount to cover his fuel costs. Never again. Oh, that's a new one.
I've looked at the thing. It's called Manta Force, MANTA Force, Manta Force.
Manta Force. We were close.
There's a red one and like a white shuttle type thing, and they're all boxed.
Kirsten was saying she uses Facebook to draw people to the shop because, for those of you that don't know, Kirsten has a high street store where she resells. I don't reserve anything. First come, first serve. Good idea. Bumcrack Picker says,
Shell Serena's put Tom stop shit.
I was going to say quickly, Bumcrack Picker says, Tom had always wanted to sit in a Porsche since he was a little boy, but ended up sitting in a porch.
Yeah, I must have spelt it wrong when I sent my wishes to Santa or something. Yeah, Shell Serena's put Tom stop showing off with your two bright lights and stock that you can find, and all the stock you can find. Yeah, I'd rather have less stock and have it listed though. That's the quandary.
Not enough hours in the day is my problem.
I was going to ask you and people in the chat. I found this, which is a battery for an Apple laptop. Can you? I don't think you can send batteries in the post, can you? It's like a lithium one.
Probably not, technically.
Yeah, better be in the chat of a courier that will take a battery because they seem to be selling for all right money on eBay, but yeah, I have zero clue where it came from.
How would you test it to know if it works?
I know. That's the thing. It's for a laptop.
Oh, losing you again. You keep.
Oh. It's from a laptop. From a laptop in 2001.
How are we doing? Oh, we've nearly been on an hour. Simon's saying, Nick and Tom, I've just got some lights and about to post a video to my channel unboxing them and trying them out. Okay, we'll check that out. Andrew Monumental is in. Sazguest got a massive haul of free packaging from Free Cycle today. I filled the car and going back for more. I love free packaging.
No,
not much makes me happier.
See, that's why my loft's full of boxes because of like Oh, God damn it. Sorry, you're on Wi-Fi, so that's probably why.
You were just doing this.
No,
No words
I
were
was
coming
just,
out.
my loft is full of free packaging. You know, going down to BM Bargains and Home Bargains and Poundland to just filling the car full of boxes.
Nice.
I'll show everyone one last find that I found when I was sorting my garage out. I'll see if that comes out in the light. Little Olympus camera case. And it is a Mew. It's a Mew 3, but it's still a Mew. So
Oh, there's a 3 as well. I knew about. I've picked up a 1 a couple of times. I've never found the 2, and now you're telling me there's a 3.
Yeah. So I've absolutely no idea where this came from, and oh, it's got film in it as well. Wonder what's on there. So yeah, not a bad little find.
So what's the 3 worth? Do you know?
I think it's about 40 quid. It's not worth tons. I think I looked it up. Someone will probably say in the chat.
It's weird, isn't it? Because the first one's worth that sort of money. So I don't know why. What is it the 2 has that makes it worth 100 or whatever? I've no idea.
No idea. Sorry guys about the stutteriness. It's just because I'm on the Wi-Fi, so apologies. Southwest Sellers has said 50 quid.
Nice. Refried says any lithium batteries must remain inside the device that they are used for. In each parcel you send, a maximum of 2 lithium batteries can be included, or 4 lithium cells. Yeah, it's a dodgy one.
I'll probably put it on there and put local pickup and see if anyone's interested. If not, I'll take it the tip.
Oh, Dave's gone up one. He says 70 to 80 for that camera.
Oh, sold.
Oh, and some at 30 to 40. So yeah.
I was going to say I take PayPal and Bitcoin, Dave. So just let me know.
Well, start at 80 and come down. Oh, Andrew will give you £15 for quick sale. There you go. Sold.
Classic. I've actually thought about it. That's one thing I would talk to you about at some point is if people were interested in some of the stuff that I've got, which is decent stuff, but like I've got a load of clothes and stuff, and I am not going to list them. I hate listing clothes. God knows why I bought them, and the shoes and stuff like that. So I think maybe on my channel at some point I'm going to maybe do what Dwayne does with the auctions. Might give that a go potentially. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. I mean, like you say, if you don't have much into them and it's stuff you decided you're never going to get around to listing or don't want to list, if you sell it on and leave some margin in it for others, then it's win-win really.
Yeah. So
good idea.
So if people are interested, let me know. It's something I could potentially do.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up. I've got to go and sort some dinner out. I'm off to play cards again tonight. I made it back to the top of the poker league again last week. I dropped off my pedestal, but I made it back up there with a good result last week. So yeah, it's a long league. It's the whole year.
Well, I'm gonna go and wash some bottles and maybe try and do some listing.
Oh, dad lifestyle, eh?
Indeed.
Well, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate that.
No, it's no worries. As I said, it's nice to jump back on the chat and stuff.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to catch up.
Yeah, and that working chat that you did the other day, I thought was really good as well. So if people are interested in that,
yeah, I might end up with. I'm not sure if I can make it a regular day, but try and do it, once every couple of weeks or once a week, and just if anyone's around, they can pop in and chat about what they're listing, what they picked up, and just it keeps me here. It keeps me away from the telly. It keeps me away from the the SNES Mini or whatever I might be wasting my time on that day. So it was good. Yeah, I really enjoyed that last time. So I think Andrea's back as well. Okay, cool. So thanks for joining me. The chat that we did plan, if you missed the beginning with Emma Reseller, we rescheduled for next week. So hopefully you can join us then. And then I did have Lonnie scheduled for that. So hopefully I can push Lonnie back a week beyond that one. Thanks for Tom for stepping in. And thanks for everyone who joined us live in the chat. Sorry if you missed your comments or questions. It's really hard to keep up with. We'll see you on Sunday for a hangout. And yeah, remember to go and check out Tom's channel. Link for that is below. We'll see you all soon. Take care, guys.
Bye.